We are live in 3, 2, 1.
A popular Provo restaurant goes up in flames, forcing nearby neighbors out of their apartments.
A great opportunity for us to try to maintain our bridge decks in great condition.
A construction project on Interstate 80 will affect road and air travelers for several months.
And local florists are preparing for the Valentine's Day flower rush. Welcome to Newsline. It's Tuesday, February 12th. I'm Amy Hamilton.
And I'm Marin Klein. An investigation is underway to identify the cause of a fire in a Provo restaurant.
Newsline reporter Mary Wall is live at the scene. Mary, was anyone injured in the blaze?
Yes, one firefighter was hurt while fighting the fire here last night at Los Hermanos. As you can see, the aftermath of the blaze that started around 7 p.m. You can see the fire was extremely destructive. People in the neighboring apartment complex are shaken.
Smoke looked like it was coming almost out of the trash compactor, which is right behind the Los Hermanos kitchen.
The fire started in the basement of the building. The exact cause is currently unknown, but the building has recently been undergoing renovations. The restaurant was closed during the time of the fire. People in the neighborhood evacuated when the fire broke out.
But then the smoke was getting more and more intense, and it just started rolling out of all the windows. And at that point, like, tons of firefighters started coming and multiple trucks, and it was getting pretty extreme. That's when we starting to be aware that something was on fire next door. People started bringing out their pets and their animals and their kids and all of that.
The building is more than 100 years old. The major damage from the fire may result in a complete loss of the building. The firefighter who was injured slipped and fell. It was thought he had broken an arm, but turned out it was only a minor shoulder injury. Customers of Los Hermanos say this is a tragedy. Many people who live in Provo say the restaurant will be missed. Reporting for Newsline Live in Provo, I'm Mary Wall.
Thanks, Mary.
A bicyclist is hit and killed by a car in Midvale. The accident happened last night near Center Street and 480 West. Police say the man on the bicycle was trying to cross the road without a traffic signal. Investigators say the driver is cooperating and they do not suspect alcohol was a factor in the accident. They are interviewing a witness to determine exactly what happened.
A man is in critical condition and a teenager is dead after a shooting in Ogden. Police say the shooting happened just after 5:30 p.m. in a home at 864 West Lake Street. Family members identified the boy killed as 16-year-old Cameron Johnson. His older brother, Eric Johnson, was critically injured and remains in the hospital. Cameron was dead when police arrived. No suspects are in custody as of this morning.
There's construction on I-80 that will affect how you get to and from the airport for several months. Newsline reporter Natalia Pennington joins us now. Natalia, what is the construction project?
They are building a new bridge that will connect the interstate to the airport. The changes will take some adjusting to, but all for the benefit of its drivers.
The Utah Department of Transportation advises drivers to plan ahead for the long-term lane closure that will take place for the next 4 months. A bridge will be built on westbound I-80 near the I-215 westbelt over the Jordan River Surplus Canal. Constant construction on roads are part of Utah's ongoing efforts to keep Utah's road in good condition.
We're one of the few states that have our bridges that are rated in poor condition. And a lot of that is because of the amount of effort that we put in to our infrastructure in rebuilding our freeways and keeping our systems in good working order.
Conditions of the bridge deck were old and wearing out, leading to the most cost-effective solution to replace the entire bridge.
The underlying girders or beams will still remain in place, but then they'll build new bridge decks which will improve the overall ride. You won't have any more potholes. It'll just take time to do that.
The new bridge surface is designed to accommodate 71,000 vehicles per day that travel in that section of the freeway.
For updates on the project, you can visit utraffic.utah.gov. The project is expected to be done by June of this year, when most Utahns go to the airport to go on vacations.
Thanks, Natalia.
Dozens of people who live at an apartment complex in Salt Lake City are now homeless. Occupants were evacuated after fire officials posted a red tag order claiming the apartment complex is unsafe to occupy. The order was issued to the Georgia Apartments located at 203 East, 2100 South. 2 different inspections found multiple issues with the building. The Salt Lake City Fire Department gave the owner repeated requests to make changes, but the owner ignored them. In 2018, the Salt Lake City Police Department recorded about 650 calls for service to the Georgia Apartments.
The revamped full Medicaid expansion bill is now law. Governor Gary Herbert signed the bill yesterday. Herbert signed the bill during a private ceremony in his office mid-afternoon with a group of Republican lawmakers, state officials, and community leaders. Herbert says this bill balances Utah's sense of compassion and frugality. It provides quality coverage to the same population covered by Prop 3 in a meaningful, humane, and sustainable way. This law goes into effect April 1st.
A Senate committee recommends a bill that helps firemen and police officers in retirement. Last night, the Utah Senate Retirement and Independent Entities Committee gave a favorable recommendation to Senate Bill 129. The bill allows firemen who worked for 25 years to retire with 50% benefits instead of just 37.5%. It will increase their own contributions to 16% from 12%. The bill will take effect on July 1st. However, it must first pass on the Senate floor and then move to the House floor.
A man is arrested on his birthday after trying to run multiple drivers off the road, flipping them off and mooning them. 66-year-old Dennis Butler was arrested when police were told he had attempted to hit other drivers with his car on a muddy road in Emery County. When police arrived, Butler started driving toward the police car head-on. Police led a chase to stop the reckless driver and arrested him at his home. Butler was charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault, 1 count of lewdness, assault against a police officer, traffic violations, and theft. This will probably be a birthday Dennis won't forget.
This is the busiest week of the year for floral shops. Newsline reporter Larissa Vecchi joins us now. Larissa, how are local floral shops doing this holiday week?
Florists say they are flooded with people ordering flowers for their Valentines.
You can't go wrong with flowers.
Teddy bears, chocolates, teddy bears hugging chocolates. Valentine's Day cliches are endless, but one that we may never grow old of are flowers. For hundreds of years, flowers have symbolized love, marriage, romance, and even fertility. In the 18th century, different flowers were assigned special meanings by Charles II of Sweden. Sending flowers to loved ones has now come from a long tradition of communicating through nonverbal messages, giving people the ability to have entire conversations with only the use of beautiful petals.
I really like the idea of flowers because you can say different things with flowers. They've got its own little language.
Local Provo floral owner Tosh Metzger says this is definitely the busiest time of year for him. He tells me a lot of shops make the biggest portion of the year's revenue around Valentine's Day. With $18.2 billion being spent in the United States on Valentine's Day, $2 billion of those dollars are spent on just flowers. In Provo, stores receive more than 2,000 orders of different floral arrangements for the special holiday. Preparations to receive so many orders start a week before, and hours run long until the season is over. Florists recommend buying high-quality flowers and keeping them in cool temperatures to make them last longer. Reporting for Newsline, I'm Larissa Vecchi.
A face-off over the border wall in Texas.
Walls save tremendous numbers of lives.
2 simultaneous rallies in one city that couldn't have been more different. Hear from the leaders of the rallies and what they want done with the wall.
And Snowmageddon is here. Find out what unexpected place the snow is pounding.
Couldn't believe it.
This isn't your typical house pet. A tiger is found in an abandoned home. Find out how the giant cat was discovered.
I don't remember how it started.
North of that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana.
How does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
17 people were killed in a fire that ripped through a budget hotel in India early this morning. The blaze broke out in the Hotel Arpit Palace in New Delhi around 4:30 a.m. New Delhi's deputy fire chief says 35 other people were rescued by firefighters. It took about 4 hours to get the blaze under control. The cause of the fire has not yet been determined. President Trump and U.S. Representative Beto O'Rourke hold separate rallies about the wall.
Walls work. Actually, there's nothing like them for what we're talking about. We want to stop drugs. We want to stop trafficking.
We stand for America, and we stand against walls.
The separate rallies were held in El Paso last night. President Trump discussed the border wall and the government shutdowns. O'Rourke protested against the wall and announced that he would make a decision on running for president in 2020.
Retired NASA astronaut Mark Kelly is running for U.S. Senate in Arizona. He announced his campaign in a Twitter post Tuesday, calling it his next mission. Kelly also shared a video saying, "We're all in this together." He said his campaign will focus on affordable health care, job growth, climate change, and economy and stagnation of wages. Kelly is the husband of former Democratic Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, who survived a shooting in 2011. A tiger was trapped inside an abandoned house.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe they would have something like that in there.
A 1,000-pound tiger found inside a garage at an abandoned home. It was inside of a rickety cage by someone who went to the home to smoke marijuana, according to the police. Meanwhile, a crowd gathered to watch it all. Officials were able to eventually get the big cat towed away in its cage.
BYU hosts a Black History Month event in honor of current and past LDS members. What kept these Black members in the church despite hard experiences?
It looks like the snow is melting there in the northern part of Utah, but it's coming back. Find out what this week's weather will bring.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be earthquake next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So,
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
A bipartisan bridge is built toward the border barrier.
Congressional negotiators say they've come to an agreement that could avert another government shutdown. John Lawrence reports.
Days before the deadline for another partial government shutdown, a tentative deal.
We reached an agreement in principle between us on the Homeland Security and the other 6 bills.
The 4 lead lawmakers didn't give specifics on the settlement, but did admit some flexibility was needed from both parties.
There's not a single one of us is going to get every single thing we want, but nobody does. But we're going to get what is best for the United States.
President Trump was given the update shortly before taking the stage at a rally Monday night in Texas.
They said that progress is being made with this committee. Just so you know, we're building the wall anyway. They say that progress...
A source says the deal includes nearly $1.4 billion for physical barriers covering about 55 miles. The White House official says aides are digesting the details with nothing set in stone. But some people see this as a step in the right direction.
It is very encouraging news for the country that they appear to be in agreement in principle.
Others don't.
His call for a concrete wall or anything that resembles that should never happen, both because it's a waste of money, it'll be ineffective, and because the minute we do that, we're going to fundamentally change the notion of what America is.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Brigham Young University is celebrating Black History Month with an exhibit honoring Black saints in the history of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Newsline reporter Melissa LaRocha is here. Melissa, how was the turnout?
It was good.
The event, called Vignettes of Black Saints, celebrates the history of Black pioneers in the LDS Church. People gathered in the Education and Scion Gallery located on BYU campus for the exhibit.
Mary is about 15 years old when she first heard about the Mormons.
The event featured singing and guests sharing stories about the experiences of Black saints in the church. After hearing the stories, guests discussed their own experiences with racism in the church.
The joy that they felt in the church was more than just they couldn't let one person in a racist comment keep them back from the chance of eternal life.
At the end of the discussion, people made their way up to the exhibit to view profiles of Black saints in history, including Black pioneers and Black saints in the church today. A BYU student is also one of the people featured in the exhibit. Creators of the exhibit say stories of Black saints aren't often told, and they want to celebrate it. Black History Month takes place every February. To find other events about Black History Month, go to calendar.byu.edu. Back to you.
Thank you so much. People are bundling up around the country, even in places you wouldn't expect. Savannah Hedgerhorst is here to tell us about record-breaking snowstorms and national weather alerts. Savannah?
Caused higher than normal surf at the North Shore. Some water even washed up onto the roads. State land departments officials say rarely, if ever, have they seen the combination of huge onshore waves and gale force winds. And as far as any rescues, officials say no major ones were reported. As we can see here, we'll see that the blue that's coming in here to Utah is the rain and the snow that's coming in this weekend. However, we will see some sunshine later next week. And for today's highs of the day, we can see that we will experience 44 degrees, 30 in Provo, 51 down in St. George, 24 degrees in Vernal. For the lows of the day, we will see degrees as 5 degrees up in Vernal, 34 down in St. George, 34 in Salt Lake, and 30 in Provo. For the 5-day forecast for southern Utah, St. George will experience some sunshine tomorrow, some clouds on Thursday. Friday will be some rain, and then for the weekend, they will experience some sunshine. However, for the northern part of Utah, we'll see some rain and more rain and snow coming in this weekend. So bundle up for the weather because it's going to be cold. However, not freezing cold, but we'll see some snow and some ice on the road. So just be careful out there again.
I'm so done with it.
I'm not looking forward to that.
It's time for spring. Come on.
Bring it on.
All right, we'll be right back.
Truth is, I'm impressed. I haven't been asked such intelligent questions in a long time. Nice.
These are cool. Did you, what did you?
What?
A war of words between man and machine, IBM's invention called the Project Debater, competed in a debate with Harash Natarajan yesterday. Natarajan was a finalist in 2016's World Debating Championship. The debate topic was whether preschool should or should not be subsidized. Both sides gave a 4-minute speech, a 4-minute rebuttal, and a 2-minute closing argument. Natarajan came away with the win, but the computer was impressive. Project Debater has been around since 2012 and uses magazine and newspaper articles to gather information for its database.
That is incredible.
Smart guy.
I know.
Smart
Technology
computer.
every day. It's changing.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today for Newsline.
For more information on our stories or to share them with your friends, check out our website at universe.byu.edu/Newsline.
Have a great day.